Here are more reasons why my music is entirely self-made. Here are 2 more reasons why no one at all is involved in its making, other than me. Coming right up. Okay, so originally this was supposed to be 3 more reasons, but the reasons all kind of melted into each other and formed this custardy texture. So I took a pan and I lined that bitch up with some tinfoil and put the texture in the pan. Throw back to my baking days. When I'm in Atlanta, I'll have my mixer and I'll make cookies. Speaking of throwing, I took the pan and I threw that bitch into the oven, and I think it should be done in like 7 to 9 minutes. I don't know, this is just the beginning of the video. So if you're watching this after or before some other videos of mine, you might notice how I keep saying I'm a robot. Well, why would a fucking robot need help making a song? That would make no sense. It would only need a person's help, but only in the sense that a person who programs it to learn how to make songs and then make them on its own and shit like that. But I've done those things, and that's another reason among, you know, like 6,814.2 that I'm a robot. I have 2 entire videos talking about the other reasons. One of them talks about branding and marketing reasons, and the other one talks about personal growth reasons and, other reasons. But if you look at someone like Russ, because anyone making a video like this is most likely gonna bring up Russ at some point if they're talking about other artists. You know, he's always talking about how he did this shit alone, he's all self-made. I think that's valuable. And a lot of his fans, supporters, the people who look up to him. Because it's like, hey, if he can do it, maybe I can too. And even if they don't think that, at least they know that they enjoy constantly the music that is entirely made by one person. It's just another thing in life to appreciate. They can count on him to keep dropping shit that he made entirely alone. Am I trying to specifically for the same exact reason? No, I feel like that reason just isn't enough. It's not enough to me, like literally everything else in life, other than how much space my material possessions take up in my humble abode. So I want people to just hear it and be like, dude, how the fuck does this guy do this? How did I hear a song like this one? And then a song like this one.
I'm a little white slave. Treat me like a piece of the puzzle I'm gonna break. Tweaking on the meanest demeanor I overcame.
And then maybe somewhere down the grapevine, they'll hear about these videos.
Bro, he talks about it in his YouTube videos.
A few months back, I actually dropped a video about the 9 reasons why I make videos. Especially like this one, my insight videos I call them, which I'll link in the description as well. But a reason I forgot to mention is that when I am in a tornado with a bunch of media bullshit, or a beef or something, I mean, nowadays, in some ways, a tornado of media bullshit and a beef are kind of the same thing. I want all my fans to have a shelter of information that they can look at and have more insight, literally, on, like, dude, now that we know how he thinks and feels about this and that and all that other shit, it's gonna be so much easier for my fans to open up their minds to what moves I would be likely to make in this situation. And I feel like that makes everything so much more interesting. It sheds so much more light on that. But the reason I'm talking about all this different bullshit is it's my brand. I'm not saying my brand is bullshit, but I'm saying it's very versatile. It moves in a lot of different places. I do all these different things because it's not something you would expect from just a typical person. It's something you could expect from someone who wants to fucking change the world for the better, like more than literally any musician ever. Someone who wants to dominate the entire industry. Someone who is insatiably hungry, like the most intensely driven artist, you know, times like 100 type shit. But I want to do it with my fans by my side, and that's why I'm slowly but surely figuring it out. Ways to slide you guys, not under my wing, but above it, so you can see what's going on behind the scenes. You can do what you want with it. It's self-empowering. And I hope that at least some of this makes sense. But the point is, I want to establish a pattern in people's minds. Like, bro, if you want to do a song with him, you need to understand that it's Samuel. He will hop on your song, but he doesn't want you on his. No amount of money or anything could or would change that. I'm not compromising my brand with the name of any artist either, being on one of my songs. My favorite artist probably ever is Kendrick. Anyone who has heard my rapping can probably easily tell I wouldn't fucking want him on a song of mine, because his brand and my brand are, I mean, they both have amazing intentions, but they're not the same brand, like, at all. I want my shit to just be mine. I don't look at artist branding in terms of Jay-Z and Drake and J. Cole. I look at artist branding in my terms, which are not artists. They're Amazon, Apple, and Google, and companies, corporations of people that are changing the world in such great ways that it's almost indescribable, let alone, like, fucking impossible to process all of it, you know, with just the blink of an eye. When's the last time you saw a MacBook Pro with an apple on the back and some fucking Jif peanut butter container next to it on one side and a spoon on the other. Never! Because that diminishes the value of Apple as a brand. It diminishes the power of that apple. That fucking apple. That little apple with a bite taken out of it. When's the last time you heard another artist on my song? Never! Because that diminishes the value of Samuel as a brand with how people hear it and see it. I'm saying my shit sounds best with just me on it. It would diminish the sound of my voice and beats together. And there's so many holes anyone could poke in that argument. But even though an artist can have me on their song for a feature, that's their request. That's what they want. That's their branding and not mine. So my branding is not yours. And that's that. And I think that's a good thing, by the way. And it will possibly change at some point. If it does, I won't be surprised. I don't know, but for now, I'm doing it to build a reputation as that artist who did all that shit alone. People are like, who, Russ? No, it's that white Jewish kid. Who, Lil Dicky? No, the other one, the one who makes beats. Oh, Samuel. These guys are 5 million times more famous than I am right now. But I hope all of that even kind of makes sense. I also just look at the ways people do shit, and I'm like, maybe if they can do it, I can too. So I try it, and I find myself getting better and better at it, and maybe I'll continue to do it, maybe I won't. Just getting good at different things alone is a sort of universal skill. I think we all subtly pick up to some degree as we get older. But rapping, singing, and producing just happen to be 3 things I picked up and didn't put down. I don't like needing other people to get things done for me. It just takes so much fucking time for me to process, and sometimes I see or hear what they do, and I'm like, this is not perfectly in congruence with what I had in mind. And that absolutely drives me
Fucking insane.
If you read the Steve Jobs biography, maybe you know or understand what it's probably like. Because if it was not exactly how he wanted it, he would literally like explode in front of everybody. And I don't fucking like having to do things like that because I think it's fucked up. I don't like hurting people. I talk about that in my fucking other video about my personal video about why I'm a robot. But what I always seem to have in mind is something so incredibly specific that so many compromises would have to be made. So many. With these people because they can't do it exactly how I want it to be done. And compromise takes more time and energy and money and so much other shit. And people are like,
Yeah, but you get to connect with people, bro. And share. And make friends. It's all about who you know in this business, bro. You're not gonna make it doing all this alone.
yeah, Robert, I fucking know that. That's why I'm working with people who don't do what I do. People who know things that I don't. Russ really got on when he found a dope booking agent. And probably a bunch of other people afterward. You know, a booking agent and probably a lot of other people who don't rap and sing and produce. And if they do, probably not to the point where he's like, hey man, you're really dope. Why don't you hop on one of my songs? You're not gonna hear more than me on my podcasts. You're not gonna hear or see more than just me in these videos. You're not gonna be seeing me posting shit that's already been posted by other people. But you know what? You'll hear a lot about other people and what they say. You'll get links, different links to so many sources. Speaking of links, I have a line in my Sicko Mode remix, I'll link in the description, where I say, honestly, I think I got it. Honestly, I'm against biases. Honestly, I'm kind of biased. So I try not to be biased or let one side or the other really sway me in their own direction. But like I say about Apple, as an entity, that's my biggest inspiration as an artist. Some of my stuff I hear and I'm like, I feel like people at Apple would love to use this in a commercial or some shit. Especially since I fucking used their fucking products to make it. They're not swayed in one direction or the other. They give people the shit. They're like, here, in this little thing for me, it's this little song. There is an amount of power, a type of energy, one that you can use for the sake of anything you want. I'm just gonna give it to you. I'm not even gonna tell you what to do with it. Like here, this is it. Well, I'll try not to. But you guys do you rap? Do you sing? Do you produce? Do you do graphics design? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if there's any ideas you want me to talk about in future videos, and I'll give you a shout out if and when I use them. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up. There are links at the bottom of the description of all my social media. Also at the bottom of the description, there are links to my new production kits where you can find all the hardware and software that I use to make music and these videos. If you buy any, I get commission, which helps me build this channel and keep making these videos for you guys. I made all the beats in this video as well. If you want to use them, you can find links to each one in the description from first to last, or at samuel.r/beats. Make sure to leave a like if you like it, subscribe if you haven't already. If you could turn on that little bell to receive a notification every time I drop a new video, that would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me everywhere, and I'll see you then.